today, and then I moved it to the next one.
Oh, I forgot that. Oh, I probably was.
Yes. I thought I sent it to you, guys. Am I missing?
Yes.
Because the ones you
I didn't catch it,
Out of
I caught the
C.
one that said you were gonna move it to.
Discussion approved.
So this one was PTSO.
Executive
F, or sorry, C.
Yeah,
Executive
but it's,
Some of your texts.
Yeah.
session
and then this
Yeah,
one is
yesterday, so.
Oh, I,
996.
the email version, I think.
Yep.
Oh, but I didn't receive a hard copy.
I didn't think about that.
Did you get a hard copy?
Okay,
Mark?
6
Would you like one?
All right, at 6, we're gonna call a meeting to order after GGA. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I think that was his first pledge of allegiance
He's
experience.
like, everyone's
so
good.
All right, so for the first of the changes, additions to the board meeting minutes, we are gonna add, under approval of meeting minutes, discuss and approve the executive session board meeting minutes as well.
Sorry, I missed that.
Oh, I missed it too, so. All right. So did you guys get a chance to look over the regular board meetings? Yeah, looks like we are missing some titles.
A title?
just,
And then your name is Brenda here.
Oh.
Brenna.
I like
that.
Oh.
And then, let's see. We've got A, B, but not C at the top of, what is that, page 3? Page 2, sorry. F at the top of page 4, superintendent report. Did you get to page 5?
this was about the student handbook. So that was B under old business.
Okay, so we're adding C to PTSO on top. Yes. So C on top of page 2. And then F. Correcting your name on page 2. Oh. Not on the bottom. Not Brenda?
Where is that on page 2?
Under trustee elections, it's in parentheses.
That's not right, page 2.
So PTSR report is on top, then athletic director, it's under clerk report. Trustee elections, the first sentence. It's in parentheses, it says Brenda.
Brenna.
Yeah.
You should have C up
I think you should just put Brenda.
there.
I make everybody's life easier, right? Is there an F on here? F would be the top of the next page. That's not from Darcy. Needs clear communication.
F there.
That's superintendent
Okay, that
report.
works.
Yeah.
Would it start after or before grants then? Is there anything under grants? Well, that's what I'm wondering, cause this is indented. On EF on page 2. So F go, did you do the grants or did you do grants?
I did the green.
Okay, so that's correct, and then F is superintendent report, and that's where the.
Yep.
Did we have anything for the under grants? I don't remember anything under grants. Okay, so F. Not the vision. Okay. And then
I don't know.
F,
We'll figure it out.
facilities, and full business.
Well, I have to admit that I'm using a new transcriber.
There's always fun with that.
Yes, so I will correct it.
Yeah.
Where you got
I think it was just old.
B is B. C goes to district exposure district, is that it? A, B.
Unless this is C here. Almost like we're missing a page.
Yeah, cause this one is,
So it goes straight from the negotiation to sculpture art. It's almost like we're missing a page. There was resignation and,
I may have had it front and back.
Oh, that would make sense why those are missing.
Yeah, and-
So we're
They're
probably
on
missing a
another
page.
That's mine, and-
Okay.
okay, that's my back.
makes more sense.
If
Michael.
Darcy hands it to me front and back, and then,
He
and
copies
then
it one-sided and it.
I copy it, and this is that page.
Cause I was
That
thinking,
makes
oh my
sense.
God, how could I have missed this? Okay,
That kinda
so,
makes sense,
I've
actually.
caught that.
Cause I bet there's the heading and a couple sentences on the previous page and then it skips over.
right, that makes sense.
So,
That's okay, so what I could do is just email you guys that, and then, if you guys approve the email, then I can have Brenna sign the final. Does that work?
you guys wanna just look at this one? This one has.
It looks like-
Yeah, all that we would need to change is my Brenda, because that one has C,
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to fix that.
yeah.
I mean, everything in the body of it looks correct.
Yeah, superintendent report, I was thinking that there was stuff for that one. Okay,
So that's what it was then?
yep,
Phew, okay,
so we'll just need to correct page 3 to
with
Brenda.
Brenna.
I go by Brenda too.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so. Do we wanna wait on them?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can table it, and then we can just
Okay,
fix it.
let's do
Yeah,
that
well,
one, until you guys get them and look at them and then.
Cause then you guys will get your
Yep.
official copy
Okay.
and then be comfortable with that. That makes sense.
Perfect. All right, we'll move to the executive session to C, so, did you guys get a chance to go through the warrants?
So there is an addition to the warrants. So instead of, the board just seeing what's coming out of the general fund and just regular claims, I've also, added a report from activity. That includes all the checks that I've written for the month. And moving forward, we thought that we would do that.
That's a nice addition, yes.
Yeah, so Darcy, ooh, yeah. we should-
I don't know why it was never done before.
Yeah,
Yeah, I.
any questions on the warrants? Do you have a motion to approve the warrants from 3/16/2026?
I will make a motion to approve the warrants.
Right, Sarah has first, do I have a second? Take your. Julie has a second, any public comment? Any public comment? All in favor say aye.
Hi.
Motion carried. Alright, and then I need approval for, the executive board meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve? For the meeting, yeah. Those, okay, yeah, 1, 2, those are numbered at the bottom, right?
Yeah, right, yes. Yeah. and that's recording.
You should see anybody flying. Those are good. Nice.
We'll make a motion to approve the executive session minutes.
Motion from Sarah, do I have a second?
You guys are too fast.
Yeah, you can't get past that.
Hmm?
Can't get past without it. Going through.
See?
We're going over to come here.
You can call Billy.
Yeah, not yours.
He's awesome.
Not at the peak. I missed it.
Yeah, I was just happy when I saw it last week. It's pretty cool.
Okay, I'll second it.
All right, got a second from you.
Sorry, I'm just slow.
Public comment? Or comment? All in favor, say aye. All right, motion carried. Right, we do have, excuse me, one public comment from Erin Ferris Olson. Hi, how are you?
Hi, everyone. Nice to see you all. I'm excited that we have our MOU signed and that we're moving forward with the our land use license, with the land that we cohabitate, that is the sculpture park. And appreciate the notice that use of the land was on the agenda today. I wanted to bring up something that we talked about in our conversations leading up to the MOU, which is like maybe having a subgroup that kind of navigated the relationship that met periodically. We talked about quarterly to just kind of keep communication evenly flowing. So I wanted to bring that to you all because I just want to follow up and see what membership for a committee like that might look like. It could look something similar to what we created to negotiate the agreement. Or actually, now that Nancy's sitting right next to me, there might be other people within the school that would serve well on that subgroup. So I just wanted to flag that and then mention a few things about the calendar for the next year. So we are moving forward with an art and nature camp in June 22nd through the 26th. And that will be, did we say 1st through 8th?
Yeah.
No,
Kindergarten.
Oh, kindergarten through 8th with like half of the kids in the morning, the other half in the afternoon for 4 days with the exhibition day on Friday is the plan. it's the plan in the works. So we'll have that more formalized with registration and all of that here soon. But just wanted to give you all a heads up so you can plan for it and hopefully send your kids and nibblings our way for that week. And then our artist in residency, we confirmed 2 artists to come to the park. Their spring visits will be late April and mid-May. So there'll be an opportunity to have an event here in town to meet them. And that's when they'll kind of walk around and pick their location and start to plan their vision for their installment. Because we have the Forest Service side with a lot more space, that's where we're kind of orienting them towards, as we mentioned in our small group. So our thought is that potentially both of them will be on that side. Although I will say that one of the sculpture plans is somebody who's been here before. He's out of Missoula, and he's planning to do something with sound. And we are kind of wondering if that's going to be feasible on the Forest Service side with the noise from the highway. So we are kind of orienting them towards that way, but we'll know more in May if we need to look at, potentially something more on the main campus for that. And those dates are September 1st through the 19th when they'll actually come and be working on the installations. And so we're working out a schedule with the school and teachers to figure out how to integrate that more with your programming. The 19th would be the big debut, and we'll have an event at the community center that evening too. So those are kind of the time frames, and we're working out the details and let you know when we get things firmed up.
Thank you. Thank you. Any information? Calendar events is good. All right. Student art festival.
No student, and Joey had to go.
Oh.
So,
All right, do we have quizzes? Nope. AD update.
What's up?
Hey.
I'll turn really quick. We just got through basketball season. Our district tournament went really well. Girls took first, which was exciting. Girls took third, which pushed both teams onto divisionals, where both teams did very well. We were very proud of how each team performed. But they did not move on to state, obviously. So proud of their seasons. Track started today, and it went good. We got a good turnout. So yeah, overall, just slowing down, moving in the track.
Slowing down.
I don't know why I said that.
How many kids do we have for track?
There's like 13 out today. I know we were missing a few, so we're thinking there's gonna be around 15, but that could be more. That could be more.
almost half that.
Yeah. We got some new faces out, which we were excited about. So.
Thank you. All right, clerk updates?
Okay, so for the budget, Tom and Sarah certified the A and B spring count, which helps to determine the numbers for the preliminary budget data sheet, which we work off of for the budget. So I gave Tom all those numbers, and we'll be working with that information and then presenting a budget to you guys later. I think it's in July or August, I think. And then the write-in candidate deadline was March 2nd. We had no write-in candidates that filed. So therefore that means that we'll have an election by acclamation. It's confirmed. And we just have the one form that was turned in, which is from Brenna. So on May 5th, the next board meeting after May 5th, we'll certify you for the election by acclamation. And then we had to put up a notice at the front door, on the website, and at the post office. And let's see, I submitted 2 cash requests for one from Title I and one from Montana Reads Grant, and those were both approved, which is great. And then, as you know, we have a lunch audit coming up on March 19th, which is this Thursday. So I'm working closely with Alyssa and Michelle and then Tom, so I have no idea what that entails, but we're just working through the checklist. I think we'll be good to go, so hopefully we've passed with flying colors. And then I attended a workshop, Region 4 workshop for district clerks in Bozeman this past week, and I met John Doran. He's the gentleman who's heading the new Bridged Health Alliance Trust, for the state of Montana. And he gave a presentation, and it sounds like we'll have open enrollment for the staff here on April 27th. And it's gonna be a huge, transition. So hopefully they'll have people on site to help us with that. That'll be great. And then, let's see, Tom, Alyssa, and I submitted a grant for a new oven. So hopefully we'll get that. We'll find out who the recipients are in late April. So I'll be sure to report back if we get it. Hopefully we do. And then I went to Helena and I registered the white bus. It doesn't cost anything, it's exempt, but we have to do it every year. We can't get permanent plates on it just because of the type of vehicle it is. And then I did discover that we don't have the title somewhere in our file, so we're gonna be looking for that. And I'm sure it's somewhere, but
Is it in the vault?
maybe. I didn't think about that.
Remember the last thing I meant?
Okay, I can, okay, that's good.
Just-
And if needed, I guess I can request another one, but,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cause I know that Whitney had went in with it when we had,
Had to
Rick
transfer
signed,
it.
yeah, he signed it over, Rick signed it over, and then she had to bring it in to get it registered.
So maybe it is, I can look in
Yeah.
there, and I'll let you guys know. And then we got the vending machine, finally, I guess that it wasn't working for quite some time. And that's pretty much it from
Thank you. Apologies, Billy, sorry about that. We
No,
didn't think
you're
about it until
I
literally.
think Tom said mentioned it last week to
No,
me, and I
well, no,
forgot
it's-
about it.
Well, my first thing on my report, I wrote down to
Sorry
apologize.
about
I
that.
talked to you last week, but I forgot to tell you we moved things up to 6 months.
All right, sorry,
I'm sorry.
didn't mean to cut in front of you, your turn.
Okay.
That's fine, you guys got through a lot of it without me, so.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
You're welcome.
Good stuff.
I
like that.
Well, as you're all aware, sad news, we did have a student pass away a week ago Sunday, a week ago yesterday. So, still processing through that, and Haley's not here, but yeah, just real tough, and we're still working through it with the kids and stuff. So, it was a somber week. Claire mentioned the districts and divisional play. My first first basketball season. So I think we learned a lot, and I think moving forward, communication's key. I do think I'd like to maybe at some point prior to next school year, kind of maybe agendize it so we can have a formal okay, here are some scenarios that we ran across as we plan on going. It'd be great if I and Claire got some direction from you guys as far as expectations. So divisionals start on a Wednesday and they go all the way to a Saturday. And so for example, Sealy Lake, both their teams like ours qualified to go to divisionals, and they both played on Thursday. If someone had asked me, I would, yeah, we're going down Thursday. We're not going down Wednesday. But if that's not what the board desires, then we need to know that, because the tournament actually starts on the Wednesday. There's a lot of variables we have to, so as soon as we have to weigh out, so as soon as we were there on the final day of districts, Claire, Doug, and I, and the coaches are talking about, okay, what's gonna look like for divisionals. If both teams were only going to Butte, so it's only an hour and a half, hour 40, and it's so missing school, substitute teachers, per diem for the athletes to eat, and cost of hotel rooms and stuff like that. So I would have said no. But I would have maybe said a blind no, because that might, maybe not the way you want to do things here. So I think maybe it warrants some different discussions, because then we did have like the boys playing not till Thursday, but the girls playing on the Wednesday. And we could have, they did eventually all go down on the Wednesday, but, I know Peyton was looking at it and discussing it, and certainly if I was in the coaching role, I would have been tempted to want my kids to stay at practice, but then they're not there to cheer on their teammates and stuff. So those are some things we have to weigh out. So maybe just some discussion out in front, so like before we move on, how it looks. And then also, pending on schedules is when we play districts every year in Frenchtown, we're that one school like Sealy's, we're that hour and a half school, whereas Drummond's an hour, and I was, chatting with Dean and stuff, because we're only an hour, so we just go back and forth. So those are some things I just like to talk, because I'd like to make that very clear to, our coaches and our parents prior to a season, so there's not a like, well, last year, don't know, that would help us out too. Great job with Claire. She thanks and dealt with everything. Awesome. So next month, I'm asking you guys to discuss and approve the tenured teachers now, so we can start getting contracts together for our tenured teachers. We'll be looking at bringing forward non-tenured teachers next month. Negotiations, so Brenna and Sarah, I'll get with Travis and look for us to try to start coordinating dates there. We mentioned Bridge Alliance, pretty excited about what that's gonna look like, and some open enrollment things. I would like to open the discussion, and I'll be, telling Dick, we've always used a broker to help us find our insurances, and I've never used one before, so I'm not recommending we go away from it for next year, but I also have to, look at like why are we necessarily using a broker, like kind of like a middleman? Why aren't we just going directly to offer that to our clients? Just because we've always done in the past, I think it's something I need to look at, because there is a cost that's either to the district or directly to the employees. I'll come back with more information on that. Congratulations to BPA, it's now official. We have 7 students who qualified for nationals. Apparently there's some judging issues at state this year, so we didn't know for sure, like the second we came back, so it's 3 made it, oh good, and it's grown to 7, so that's kind of cool. So we took 18 students to regionals, and 7 are moving on to nationals, so that's pretty good, and pretty exciting. Big weekend in Lincoln, and not typically the weekend I like to be here, because it's the alumni basketball tournament. So it's Pete Sitch, and I just sat through the alumni basketball tournament in Clark Fork, and my 22-year-old on Sunday morning at 8 a.m. wasn't playing very well, and because he did what 22-year-olds do at alumni. So anyway, so I talked to Dave Sitch, because Claire and I, being new, don't know what's going on, and like, okay, what's going on? Our facilities are being used, like, who do we talk to? So I got a hold of a Dave Sitch, who, very nice gentleman, and so, and he was because I haven't been asked to do that in the 39 years we've done this, but all I'm asking is that a facilities use form be filled out. Took the liberty to waive all the fees, because the revenue goes to supporting it, but just so we have it documented, you're expected to take care of it and leave it in, but I crossed out and I put non-applicable as far as the fees and things like that. And, but the other thing, and he just starts cracking up, is I'm asking all the participants to sign a liability waiver. And so that the blown ACLs don't come back on us. And he thought that was very reasonable too. So we'll ask them to simply sign that, that they do be so at their own risk. I think that's a pretty standard thing to do, so, and he was more than happy to do that. And a couple meetings regarding graduation. So a couple weeks ago, sitting there at a 7-12 high school meeting, I go, guys, tell me about graduation, like, who's in charge? And they all kind of nicely pointed at me. So, okay, good to know. So met with the kids a few times, learning some things. We do it on Sunday. Typically, the Montana graduations have baccalaureate ceremonies. So, you know, just reading through the policies, very, very clear on how we do that with the graduation ceremonies, and you know, just coordinating the 8th grade and how that kind of looks, and not trying to step on any toes, but really trying to also make it like, you know, kind of what the kids want, and not to have the 8th graders as the second-class citizens, but also like, you know, because I met with the kids, and then a parent, Brenna, texted going, so I hear it's starting at 1 o'clock, and like literally, I had not, no one had told me that, because Brenna was working on her announcements, you know, and stuff, so. Yeah, so anyway, trying to get the kids to tell me, so it'll be on the 31st, with the baccalaureate starting at 1, and the graduation ceremony in the fall, probably 1:30. And the 8th grade will, right now, we have it starting at noon. And so we'll probably try to run that no more than 40 minutes, so if people will take a short break, and then we'll run the graduation. The graduation obviously also includes a scholarship, you know, so which is kind of, smaller schools do that fairly frequently. I've seen that done before. But like, kind of like where the kids want to see that in their program, and I'm going, guys, it's yours, but it's also like, and I hear a bunch of programs we've done in the past, and I think you can like move this around, and they're still throwing around ideas for like keynote speakers, and looking at, you know, the valedictorian, salutatorian, giving speeches, and then doing a presentation, a slideshow, and a flower presentation, which I think is really traditional, and then there's like senior boards, and then we'll start also coordinate things with the 8th grade parents and stuff. So trying to get kind of going early, so there's no shocks at the end. I was a little shocked that I was not actually in charge of that. So anyway, that's all I have.
Thank you. Do you have a facilities report?
I do not. Oh, well, we'll talk about it later.
Okay, perfect. All right, the notice of a trustee election cancellation.
That's what Darcy just talked about. So Brenna will be, it's an election through acclamation, and so going through all the notifications that she put in, but nobody else put in. So she'll be going through the oath of office, and there's an additional form that we thought had to be like signed tonight, but then with further research, we'll do it at the next board, on the May board meeting. But it had to do with the acclamation, and then I thought, that's kind of weird, because the board president has to sign it, but that's the person whose seat is up. So we also added in there that the vice chair would sign too. So it's just not Brenna that would be signing her own acclamation. I thought that was just so
Fine.
yeah. Sure.
Okay, perfect. All right, appointment of school board trustee vacancy for remainder of term.
Okay, here we are. We are on the 35th day since Merlene resigned. And we have 60 days, so that's prior to our next board meeting. Our next board meeting would be the 63rd. So, Annette, you want to be on the board?
No, but thanks.
Sure. Annette, you guys actually could.
I would like to apply.
And she has to wait 15 days to decline. So I was looking around going, oh, we got Riker back there. But she's the only one in the room that can talk. No offense, Aaron, but Aaron knows live here.
It's just like I have enough board.
And Nancy employee. So So we posted, I think word of mouth is also a great way in Lincoln, and we've yet to, we asked for some, so what's happened in the past is like 3 people put in letters and then, okay, come and you guys actually get to ask them questions, and then you actually deliberate right in front of them, and then somebody makes a motion and you can appoint right there. You guys, I think legally can, because I learned, well, the previous state, but was the old days, you can pull a phone book out and find somebody who lives here and appoint them, whether they accept or not is, another matter. But, and then there's a form, and then, it has to be a qualified candidate. People have to research that they live here, or ET. Yeah, so, anyway, so that's where we are. If we did get interest, I think I'd call for a special board meeting so we could appoint. Cause I'd like you guys to control that appointment if, we had that. If we get to the 58th day, I have to notify the county superintendent of school, and then it's their job to appoint someone and stuff. We can fully function and get all the work done with 4 people, but yeah.
When, for our next board meeting, what date? How many days does that land on, do you know?
Yes, April 13th is our next board meeting, and that is day number 63.
Okay.
So it's close.
Okay, so, that ain't gonna hurt.
Yeah, if we wanna stay in the compliant, and I could submit something, I think it'd be a simple question, I could submit it to MTSBA going, we went to 63, but I also don't wanna everything the person votes on be invalidated because of a tech, it's kinda an important date, I think, so I think we should pay attention.
Okay, are you sure?
So,
Do you advertise? I mean,
Well-
if you did, how would you do it?
We posted it, we put it on the website, we kinda know people,
Is that the- yeah, post office?
word of mouth, same way we post board meetings,
Yeah.
it's,
I've been talking to people that just roll their eyes.
I got a couple just kinda, well, and I just, hey, it's open, it's not appropriate for me to kinda
Right.
solicit it, but it's like, hey, it's,
Is it the post office?
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
You
Give us a
could,
week
I
or
mean.
two. Okay, I'll try to work on it.
I walked in and now.
Yeah.
I reject it. No,
It's courteous that they suggested while you're here.
Yeah,
because
it
that's,
really
you
is.
know.
I
think we had mentioned
realize
this
she
in the
had
past,
resigned. I didn't know that happened.
at the last meeting.
Yeah.
Right, so do we have to do anything with that one then?
No,
Okay,
yeah,
don't think so.
there's, well, unless you want them.
A point, yeah, doesn't sound like we're gonna get far with that.
How long was her,
She was just finishing the first year of her third 3-year term, so 2 years from May.
Just a thought. Give it a few days.
yeah.
Have her phone book. All right, perfect, we'll move on then. Right, certifying the tenure teacher staff, do we have that list? Okay, perfect. Do I have a motion to approve, or is there any questions regarding? Okay. Maybe discussion or questions first? All right, do I have a motion to approve the certified tenure teaching staff for 2026-2027 school year?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Billy has a first. It's been so long since I've seen it. All right, Billy has a first, do I have a second? Julie second. Public comment? Board comment? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Admin staff administration. What is this one? Oh, okay, this one.
It's just.
Oh, for
Yeah.
Becky, okay. Did everybody get a chance to look over that?
So,
anything to-
yeah, so just
okay.
let me explain what's going on there is, cause she's the least tenured person in our district. So what you would be doing is you'd be making a motion to approve Becky McNichol, who is serving a 1-year teaching position, so it terminates. So we had to fly the position. So if we determine we have the staffing, we'll offer her the position. If we determine we need to cut staffing, she would unfortunately be the reduction in force. She'd be the first one due to the seniority list. So I made it very clear because we have other people like right above her, and I told the whole staff with Becky there is, hey, look, I'm just doing this to, to say, hey, look, if we recommend going to this staffing, we would be hiring you. So that's, just so you guys knew that would be out there.
All right, do I have a motion to approve, hiring Becky McMichael for 2026-2027 pending staffing needs determination?
I will make a motion to hire Becky McNichol for the 26-27 school year pending staffing needs determination.
I got a first, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Julie seconds, public comment? Board comment? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, the key proposal?
Okay, so if you guys want a little sticker shock, just go to the second page there. I just wanted to put that in there so we can unfortunately get up to speed on, public work construction jobs. So, JGA is just a reminder, they're the ones who came in 1995, and they produced all sorts of cool documents that said, hey, look, if you guys were going to fix this place, these are things like, this was what this place needs. And they also drafted, did some work on the school trust land and what like a possible, they had like a high school there, parking lots in school. And you guys, I brought it here, it's in my office. So, it's really an interesting, it's that thick. And what's cool about it is the guy who did it is trying to retire, but he's still kicking and with us, and Terry was here. So you read through it and you go, okay, yeah, we'll still need that and stuff. And like I said last time, is once he met with us, Mick, who works with them also, Mick was new to Lincoln and Lincoln Elementary School, and both were very nice last week, by the way, and called me thinking that a roof blew off, and I felt bad for Lincoln Elementary in Great Falls, but oh, good, guys, it wasn't you. I think they expected our roof to go, but anyway, Mick got a tour, and so that is a proposal that will be all of the work we would need to do prior, if we wanted to ever consider going for a bond measure to help us either improve this facility or look to build a new facility over on the school trust. So
We would have to do this before, to get the number of how much we would need to do the thing.
correct,
Gotcha.
yes. They do help you with all the strategies and the community work and stuff like that is getting out there. So they know, and we made it very clear when we met with them, that we're not looking at doing this year. We would look at budgeting for that for next year if we want to continue moving forward. So I just put it as a discussion, but I wanted that in front of you guys to start realizing the scope of that. Zach, who's the fire chief, he and I had a chat because they're looking at also their own facilities, and like he goes, oh yeah, we went through the same thing, and it was like 80 grand just to get up off the ground with plans and things like that. And it's the sticker shock is, it gets your attention, so. I just wanted that there for you guys to be able to pull through and okay.
Any questions?
Is this something we're gonna try to budget into a little bit every year for the next year or two?
Yeah, I'd like to try to budget it, you know, the planning fairly quickly, yeah. But,
Sooner rather than.
yeah,
Unfortunately.
but budget it without asking for any of our reserves.
Right,
So that's,
yes.
you know, so if we are fortunate enough to have some carryover, allocate it, you know.
Sounds like you'd
I'm
say
not
no.
asking like, ooh, guys, you know, let's take, I call it a reserve, you guys would call it our multi-district fund.
Right.
So, that'll be about a quarter of it.
Any other questions?
But this would be the extensive process of kind of like, you know, our recommendation is you can do it here, but would it make more sense to, you know, go elsewhere, you know?
Okay, school trust land use for outdoor leadership.
Okay, so speaking of, we have brought this up a few times, and I just want to get you guys on board with the discussion. So we have talked about, and yes, and I know how we have some sculpture folks, park folks here, but these are just examples. So, you know, I've gotten to know Nancy and been really impressed with her outdoor club and various things we do. And if you go upstairs of our facility out on the field, it's busy. So we got a lot of cool stuff. And so Nancy has talked about wanting to get a Connex box to store hers, and you know that she has money in her account and they have fundraisers and stuff like that. And so we got to talking, and then you know, and she talked, you know, a lot of times we cross country ski or whatever. So it's like, hey, wouldn't it be nice, and there is a designated area over there that you know, we could have like an outdoor leadership area that we could store some things. So at first we were throwing around the idea of like a single Connex box, but then when you really consider it, and I just threw that up as an example, but kind of Derek brought up, like, for probably no more cost and probably easier construction is, instead of doing the independent pole barn that, you know, it's just part of, because we're looking at wanting to have an area out of the weather, you know, like kids could change into their, you know, skis and things like that. Is you see this design is where, when they, through trusses, you connect to. So I'm not asking you guys to, you know, make any decision right now, but just look, like, if you think it's a ridiculous idea and no, so we'll stop moving forward on it. But also, when I'm talking about it, I wanted you guys to see a variety of, I probably can find one, but you know, I saw one with a singular one that the truss was here and then it dropped down to the poles here, you know, so you could do that. But then, you know, it's, you know, pouring those footings and stuff, and with the additional, rather than just, you know, the trusses that can tie into the roofs. You know, I've yet to discuss, you know, we've thrown the idea around with the sculpture park folks. Did mention it with Kristen Baker through DNRC, you know, and again, we're just, I need, you know, green light before we can really start getting really serious about something there. So, but you know, this one has the trusses connected poles, but we would look at going straight across if we wanted to. So. And again, we would try to fundraise for it and stuff, so you know, Nancy was nice enough to come and talk and stuff, so. But I'm pretty excited, because like, great area that we go over, and obviously would have to be in very close communication, because there's dates that, you know, we wouldn't want to interfere with Sculpture Park activities and stuff, but also just a lot of the variety of things that we have local to here that next year we haven't really like solidified, but like our master schedule for 7/12, we've got it, so Nancy's got an additional elective time, and, you know, we're gonna have an outdoor leadership class, you know, and stuff. And Laura and I have talked about, because we will be doing and she'll do a presentation on a work-based learning program, so especially our 11th and 12th graders, where we start kind of running out of really good electives, we can get the kids out in the community in a variety of different, a little bit like job shadowing and steroids, you know, because it's got a lot of, you know, very goal. It's just not job shadowing. I mean, it's a class and you have to report for, but also like the local industries tied in with, you know, the outdoor recreation. I think will be awesome. Billy's on my radar, you know, because the outfitting business. I think our kids, just not Billy's kids, should see what that's about.
Everyone wants to get that wonderful
Yes,
experience.
they should. So that's the idea, and of course, you know, working with Sculpture Park would be, you know, critical on that. But yeah, I'd like to keep, you know, whether or not it was purchased this spring and put in place this spring, or purchased and put in, you know, next year. Nancy's been looking at a couple of local ones that may become available. One thing is, might get a local one available, what state's it in, what would one elsewhere cost, but it's also, sometimes I bought one time, and it's nice that they deliver it and put it right when you tell them to, so you buy a local one, like, oh, good luck moving, you know, I mean, and that creates another problem, so I just wanted to throw up some stuff to kind of give you guys an idea, kind of, when we say yes, we're talking about shipping container stuff, so.
Did you want to add anything?
I guess the only thing I would say, you know, I'm glad that the folks from the Sculpture Park are here, because obviously they've been using the area for a long time, and just kind of working with that partnership, I think, is really key for moving forward. I don't know what it would look like. I don't know if there would be some like opportunity to, like, when they're doing events, to use some of the equipment or even the facility, like the open space in between. It would be pretty conducive, I think, to have, you know, outdoor writing or art workshops, or just get it out of the weather, or when they host things, a picnic. It's larger than the existing picnic area that's there. And the only other thing I would say is, those were pretty, like, crude. I guess I would envision it, skinning it to really make it.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean that they would look
Yes.
like that.
Yeah, to make it blend in with the, you know, the beauty that's inherent in the Sculpture Park. So, yeah, I hope it could be a really great partnership, a really great community asset that we could work on together. Do you guys have anything?
Yeah, I think working together is a great idea, and maybe the subgroup would be a group to, and a venue to have that conversation. We did walk the park and talk about it. We do have one Connex there right now that really is only partially utilized by the park, and there's a cement pad next to it, so it would be a very practical place to be able to already offer you all some resources to blend it in. I think the schedule is a thing, but, you know, ultimately the aesthetic and location are considerations for us to just, you know, access and what that looks like. So yeah, happy to be a part of the conversation.
So you just want approval for?
Just, yeah, Tom, green light to move forward, but you know, we're not gonna
Okay,
buy anything before next month.
Right. perfect. Do I have a motion for, school trust land use for outdoor leadership center?
I will make a motion to approve the school trust land use for outdoor leadership center.
All right, I have a first, do I have a second?
Can I
Did I say it
modify that
right?
slightly?
Yeah.
Yes,
Within the scope of the MOU that we have.
within the scope of the MOU.
Perfect.
Following all legalities.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Julie seconds.
And actually, since I passed out the report, there's a new updated map in here. And, you can actually see where the current Connex is right here, where there's this little pullout, and this is that other axis, and, there's this pad next to it, so, you know, you can kind of get a sense for where current infrastructure currently is.
And to the right of where, Aaron just pointed out, and to the left of the teepee burner, kinda in there where you don't see any sculptures is where the 3 acres.
To the left.
The left of, yeah, where she pointed out, that's the common spot, so that's, so this area here.
Oh, okay, perfect, perfect.
Does the existing Conex box sit on the 3 acres, or is it?
No,
outside?
it sits off.
Those 3 acres were blocked out as a place where the sculpture park could not put anything.
Okay.
So they were reserved from we don't have our land use license doesn't apply to that space actually.
Any other public comment? Board comment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, we have secured Mr. Pierce again.
We have. And Nancy's, her name got brought up. As a successor to George Pierce.
Oh, for traffic. You know, he and I were chatting about that.
Now that you're here.
Okay.
We can talk later, but.
Okay,
George really was adamant, this is my wife. No, he was very pleasant.
I noticed you didn't ask me if I could.
Oh, I'm sorry, Annette, yes.
You
You
have
can't be on the board if you take that.
Yeah, I was going to
so-
say, you can't be a board member.
Sorry.
We're going back up to appointing you, so. All right, do I have a motion to approve George Pierce for his final year education, graphic education?
As long as I don't have to approve a final year anymore. It's like the third final year. I'm
Okay, George Pierce, maybe final year.
I'll make a nomination for George Pierce.
Got a first from Billy, do I have a second? Julie seconds.
Okay, part of the discussion, this is the same contract that you had last year, if you thought that was very fair. We've been charging students $250, you know, to participate in it, so there's a cost. And because it's George, I feel like we should stay with the same one. But moving forward, I'd like to, you know, look at that, so like if 1 year we only have 2 students, I'm not sure it should be the same rate as, you know.
and I didn't bring the contract up,
Oh.
but I didn't.
Oh, I think
just
it's
for
in
the-
there, yeah. Anyway,
But for
I can pull it off.
oh, yeah, you prefer the sign. And, sorry, and so, you know, like moving forward, but we're gonna stay with George, so keep that in mind, you know, for future things. And then also, and I'm just gonna say it, is, and I don't even know if it's legal, so, but I'll find out, I just haven't had a chance to ask the question, but, so the $250 we charge, students doesn't cover the cost of the district. So this cost us probably $3,000, okay, just with the amount of money we'll get that. But we serve students out of the district. So should their rate be $250, or should we have a different rate for students that aren't Lincoln school? You know, and maybe not this year, but just consider that as we move forward, because this is like anything, you know, the cost of the district exceeds the revenue that the program generates. Obviously, if we had too many kids and we had to have a cutoff, I would make sure that Lincoln junior high and high school students were the first served. But I'm not asking for that now, I just kind of thought that was something to consider. People from Sims called and, you know, bring your folks, kids up here, so.
We had Helena people in the past.
Yeah.
When Kylie and Jessica did, we brought some Helena kids up.
I think even when they took it, it was $250, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we haven't even increased the price.
Right.
We haven't, and
Wow.
I'm-
Mhm.
Do you know what other classes are charging drivers ed?
oh, it's a great question. I don't have that information.
Yes, I understand that.
Public comment? Board comment? Me too.
Me too.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carried. For maybe the last time, maybe. All right, you're up, Pine. Sorry,
Yeah.
by the way.
I have a couple schedules for what our Silverwood Trick Day could look like. So this is the 4th year I'm asking you to approve this field trip. Sorry about it, making it for everybody. We have taken the band to Silverwood all but 1 year, and once with Alberton as well, but we went by ourselves last year and it was great. And it's for 6th through 12th grade students. And I usually end up taking a little over half, so that's 40 kids if everybody came. I'm hoping to bring at least 30 this time. So the cost for the trip is about $120 per student, and that includes tickets for the park, lunch, dinner, bus fees. It wraps up everything, especially because Alyssa makes us a breakfast to go, so they have 3 meals that day. The only money they need to bring is if they want to buy souvenirs, so they get the whole trip covered. What we do is we leave here at about 5:45 in the morning, get to the park, and this is based on the schedule we did our first year. Our performance time could vary, but the earliest we would perform is at 11 Pacific time. Then have the kids eat lunch at the buffet in the park, and then they get to spend the rest of the time in the park riding the rides. So it is a really great, memorable trip, and they also get to perform for the public while they're in the park, which is really exciting. And then we pick up some sandwiches on the way home and get back to the school between midnight and 1 a.m. So it's an early morning, but a really fun trip, and keeping it a there and back trip instead of an overnight trip really helps with being able to afford to do this. And then one thing, obviously I'm going to be going on maternity leave pretty soon, but I have some staff who are willing to lead the trip without me if I am not able to go, which we're just going to plan on me not going just in case. And what I've been doing with the kids is training them to be very self-sufficient, and the high schoolers are great leaders. They can lead everything music as long as we have adults to help round them up, which I have a good crew so far. Yeah. Do you have any questions for me?
My kids loved going on the whole road trip.
I think it's worked out every year
Yeah.
really well, so.
It's been a big highlight, I think, and maybe one of the incentives for coming back to the music program in the spring too. And it's a nice reward after all their hard work in the school year.
With 30 kids, how many chaperones do you bring?
I would like to keep it like a 1 to 5 for an out-of-state trip. I think 1 to 8 is our regular ratio, but yeah, the more the better for this one. And I will have the staff who have gone before I open it up to parents, so.
questions? Right, do I have a motion to approve the Silverwood band trip, grades 6 through 12, May 2nd, 4th, 3rd?
Oh, yeah, sorry, there's not a exact date yet because I don't know what, sports or music festival looks like quite yet. I just have to look at the calendar and the chaperone group will pick a date that works best for everybody. So, yeah.
I will make a motion to approve the Silverwood band trip for grade 6 through 12, either May 2nd or 3rd.
Tara has the first, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any public comment? Board comment? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Alright, motion carried.
Thank you.
Have fun.
Oh, we will. Well, they will.
If you could go.
Yeah, it's the weekend, before my maternity leave starts, so that's why my parents live really close. Maybe I'll go and watch them, otherwise I'll be here, so we'll see. I'd love to go.
Doug does not want to be doing anything on the bus in
Does
terms
not
of
wanna
giving
deliver.
birth.
Yeah, I will not be riding the bus, I'll make that very clear. No bus rides.
Doug,
Oh my God.
no.
He can't retire till he's got a story.
Yeah, I think he may have some things to say about that. All right, any discussion for approving, Nicholas Peterson? Nicholas Peterson.
He is the young man you have seen at a lot of ball games, basketball, who's now the assistant pastor at Arts Church.
Comes up, art with the games.
Then comes to art with the games, comes
I
down.
thought I said that. You said it back and you didn't. All right, do I have a motion to approve to, update substitute list to add Nicholas Peterson?
I'll make a motion to add Nicholas Pearson to the substitute list.
I have a first from Billy, do I have a second? Second that. Julie second, any public comment?
He's a great guy. He was one of our science fair judges.
Yeah. Board comment? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, and do I have a motion, to approve Hayden Dempster for volunteer for the track, I'm assuming the pole vault?
I'll make a motion to approve Hayden Dempster for volunteer.
All right, do I have a second? I'll second it. Julie seconds. Public comment? Board comment? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Alright, motion carried. Alright, at this time, we're gonna go into an executive session. Thank you, Nancy.
Thanks, Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy.
What did you do? Night, I don't know where they are.